Good morning, good evening, and welcome y'all to my newest video about an interesting thing called the chicken police Into the Hive. So let us say that this game actually worth of any attention. It's very easy to play, very easy interface, and very friendly user interface as well. So, I should start that it's really dangerous for for two chickens, even if they are armed police to explore the hive, which is run down buildings and constant threat of violence. The goal holding things together is fascinating, but it's more important to find the right words when in negotiating the queen, a well-connected source of information that can make or break this case. My first attempt ended badly, with leading detective Sonny unable to extract any useful info, so now I'm paying a lot more attention, carefully parsing the queen's word as she explains how the criminal underworld in the hive has changed. I've also read all the lore entries twice to be sure that there are no ambiguities. This second attempt went much better and I got 4 stars when the interview ended. Even better, we have a clear lead. There is a body to investigate, clues to gather, and the old doctor to talk to. These animals aren't smoking, but the atmosphere is hazy and there is too much depth that seems random. Thankfully, humor is also presented. Even if it's pitch black ink and quite few people are trying to help, Sonny might be thinking about the retirement a lot, but he clearly claws Cloud Life and hopes it will see better days, with less violence and discrimination. Chicken Police Into Hive is developed by Wild Gentleman and published by Joystick Ventures. I played on the PlayStation. I'm just lying, of course I'm playing on the PC, using Steam. What the game also is on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and older devices from Microsoft and Sony. The title uses adventure game mechanics and has a great narrative. The action takes place in Clawville, which is metropolis inspired by American cities as portrayed in the Noir movies, but with animals in the place of humans. As the game progresses, players find out more about its empire and geopolitical situation, but the pressing problems are closer to home, with an entire district of the city closed off and officially policy of segregation effects in SAC. Our chicken main character is Sonny, grizzled detective with a somewhat dark history who unfares it to take on through the cases. Partner Marty is more easygoing and often serves as comic relief, but it is also determined to get the bottom of the situation. The narrative hits familiar detective game and noir movie beats, but also features a few cool surprises. Chicken Police Into the Hive is well written. There are plenty of references to the fact that everyone is an animal, but the title also directly engages with the big themes, including how politics can destroy a society, the bonds that link individuals, the ethics of police, and more. I laughed out loud a few times, especially when Marty and Sonny were ribbing each other. I also like how the game slowly reveals more about its universe and the way the heroes are influenced in the current story state. Mechanically, it is a familiar take on classic adventure titles. The detective part moves from the place to place visiting their police station, old friends, a creepy cemetery, the lives of the powerful underworld figures, and more. They are well designed and players with both investigation points of interest to talk the characters. Chicken Police gives players a notebook that clearly lays out of the questions and locations, while also delivering extensive lore entries. Players will sometimes have to carefully examine the objects they find to reveal further information. Too often conversations only progress if the certain item is used on a character. There are also mini games to engage with, each with the set of unique but simple mechanics. Some of them feel underdeveloped, and an option to skip will have be nice. The title biggest moment are interrogations. Gamers taking into account what Sonny knows about how his interlocutor has behaved up to this point, have to decide how to approach the delicate task of extracting information. Some might respond to hardline approach while other situations require a soft touch. It's a good system that feels under rest and sometimes appears in the weird places, like at the movie premiere. It would be nice to have some side stories focused entirely on interrogating suspects to quickly solve the crimes. Chicken Police also suffers a little when characters have to revisit location and when multiple characters have to point the protagonist toward the same clue. It still is one of the more joyful and immersive adventure video games I have played recently. I like spending time with the Sonny and Marty and many of the other animals they interact with. The narrative does not try to be too clever, but tackles real world themes in interesting ways. There's plenty of lore to consume to prepare for engaging interrogation sequences. Chicken Police is very interesting. It uses a classic noir film look designed to enhance the narrative and immerse players in an animal detective world. All featured characters good, especially during their close-ups, and the location sometimes seems lifted directly off the 40s movies. Looking out for yellow elements in the interface to see new information and conversation options. There are also an option to switch to a color mode at any point, but I feel it limits immersion. The sound design is even better. The experience is fully voice acted, and everyone involved is having a great time adding personality to their characters, even they are animals. The actors know exactly when to switch between the humor and drama, and even small conversations are very engaging. Make sure to use all options with all characters and points of interest. The title's soundtrack, jazzy and smoky, adds the atmosphere but never gets intrusive. So, the bad things what I should highlight is some puzzle mechanics are very bad. Locations feel limited and it needs more interrogations. About the positive side, I should say the great noir story, interrogations mechanics as well, and the voice work bring characters actually to life. So in conclusion, Chicken Police Into the Hive is a fun, often funny, and sometimes touching experience, and know how to work with both the noir and adventure game genres. The cast of animals' characters is well chosen, and Sonny makes for a great protagonist. Play the game in short sessions, soak in the atmosphere, and don't be disillusioned by the more frustrating minigames. There are a few moments when the conversation feels out of sequence depending on the choices. The puzzle elements really feel like they belong. Some locations feel too small, but these are the limitations of the adventure game genre, and the Chicken Police Into the Hive works hard to push past them and manage to give fans a good plot, great characters, and a cool interrogation scenes. Thank you so much for being with me. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye bye.